Whoa, we're back for some Bleach Soul Resonance, and we got some anti-cheat update and server-wide compensation. So first and foremost, just want to thank everybody who showed out for my video, showed out for Giku and Aaron's and others people's videos. The initial video itself, which garnered a lot of attraction and helped spread the cause to begin with. It was great to see people, all people from the French and Spanish sides of the community I saw on Twitter getting active and boosting these videos as well. Just want to say a huge shout out to anyone who I just thanked or may have forgotten to thank, because you guys showed out extremely quality to get this to happen. Hopefully we see quicker turnaround times on these anti-cheat just sweeps and these bans. For now though, 100 spiritual jade, 10 stamp nexus, and 1 spiritual pressure power nourisher. I'll go ahead and claim those, and that should put us back at 20,000 total jade now. Pretty nice. This is going to be more of a general things video, by the way. I mean, we're literally 6 days away from White Ichigo, so what we put out leading up to that is going to be pretty chill. I have gone through quite a bit of I don't know why this is flashing red. I literally did this. I have gone through quite a bit of it's not in here, it's in here, and we actually did manage to grab floor 5 completion, which does get you the Soi Fon outfit. So I wanted to get that before I did any more recording. You can see that you only need to get to around floor 10 or tower 10 to actually get the maximum amount of rewards. So, right up here. And then it moves into endless trial, which is really nice. You only need to get up to floor 9, in fact, to get the maximum amount of jade. And you can see my jade is exploding, but where is Soi Fon? Yeah, I mean, I was right. What is it? The posing here just looks better. She's so sick like this. All right, she's just so cool. The tails flowing in the wind, stuff like that. Pretty cool. But yeah, let's get to the bulk of this, which is just going to be going over some news here. Giku has kindly provided a bit of that, so let me just switch over. And there we are. So to the guilds who got slimed out of first place, slimed is fucking hilarious. The rewards lost by not getting top 1 were given. It's only 1 stamp nexus because the ranking for 1 only gave that much more. Main bonus, of course, the title. VSR is making an active effort to go against the cheating now. It's very nice. 5,000 con they shouldn't have. 500 con they should. Devious. Update regarding the cheater issue and compensation for everyone. Any only. Assuming, essentially. I mean, this is it. This is in the news if you really want to see it. It's not loading. There we go. This is in the news if you want to see it. Extra points on Ulquiorra and Speculation. So this is the big juice because Ulquiorra has been confirmed as an SR+. Let's just read over it. I like this. I do. Sorry, a little yawn there. Just woke up as of recording this. I like this. I really do. Ulquiorra, I mean, I get why people may want Grimjo as a base SSR. I do. Why you would want Ulquiorra's first transformation into Segunda Etapa, I have literally no idea. He essentially looks the same, except he has wings, whereas Grimjo's Pantera makes him look drastically different, and you might just prefer the, the untransformed version of him, right? So that's just me personally. Yeah, I don't really know what to say. Like that's personally just my thoughts on that. Grimjo's tier, fill-in DPS unit was pretty good. I imagine this Ulquiorra will be, before reading this, I imagine he'll be extremely serviceable, especially if you don't have Toshido. Maybe even if you do have a B0 Toshido, so we'll see. But base Ulquiorra will be an SR given out on June 5th, so 6 days to go. SSR Resurrection, Segunda Etapa Ulquiorra follows up June 26th. Ulquiorra getting an SR Plus means we can expect SR Plus on a relatively frequent basis. That's true. Also, I would suspect this on transforming characters that we have in-game models for. What do I mean? Okay, let's actually look inside. So a character I've been expecting to show up at some point, and I do still very much think this is going to be the case, is he in here? Is he really not in here? Maybe I'm yapping. I don't know where to find him otherwise. Oh wait, he should be in Mighty Opponent. He's not in Mighty Opponent. It's Noitada. It's Noitada, essentially. I actually don't know where he is that he would be available. Maybe he's actually in the Frenzy Feast one. This is probably true. Yeah, he's over here. This character set is SR+. His released form, that will be the SSR. If they release this character, probably. I could see that being how that goes. Does that make sense? And again, you know, if someone wants to be like, well, I prefer this form, I get it, because he is quite different looking. But I mean, release form, you know, Noitada is essentially Noitada with like extra bits instead of just being like a completely different character. Like again, if you don't like Pantera but you love base Grimjo, I think it's like that's more fair. But for characters like Ulquiorra and Noitada, I'm like, I don't get how it would be any different. His art heavily indicates that he'd be Spirit. Seems the pattern for right now is the same type role as their SS counterpart or SSR counterpart, Pantera Segunda. His Sarah pretty much solidifies him as Spirit. He should be added to the Battle Pass SR Plus pool next reset. If not, the one after, I'm guessing it'll become a selection. You can get one of them. Seems SR Plus variants of units will come out one patch before the SSR Plus variants, but this way not always be the case. Okay, we'll probably bring back the Mystic Frontline event with some optimization, so get ready for the true gacha of this game. Oh, the Mystic Frontline. Okay. Oh, okay. I was like, what is Mystic Frontline again? All right, we're back. We're back. The true gacha is here. Mystic Frontline and Core Stamp dupes. Cinema. Binema. He'll be able to make use of Zealapido, so I see him being high T0.5, bit worse than Toshido. Let me go to my tier list and think about that. So this was my last tier list here. My last tier list. 0.5, a bit worse than Toshido. So a bit higher than Yodahara. Do I think that's realistic? I guess if you're only thinking about like DPSs and not supports. Yeah. Yeah, I think, yeah. Maybe, yeah. Maybe slightly above Kenpachi, but I don't know. With, I'm gonna say tentatively that he'll end up being behind Kenpachi. Because even like at B0, B2 or whatever, because like, I imagine White Ichigo is going to make Kenpachi beefy as hell. And we did get confirmation, we got actual confirmation that we're getting a rerun of Kenpachi. These units should be treated as units to have fun with if they're a character you like. Not going to be T0, but will be a very good nonetheless. They will never be the best option. Not bad when you need multiple teams, but yeah, if you can't build them, it's just another collection in your account. Yeah, and the fact that they're free and the fact that they like hand them to you is very nice. I would like to see them enter the standard pool or just other versions of like a pool faster. But, you know, 6 weeks of Ulquiorra greatness. Hell yeah, gangy. Next we got basic trial. 10 to 11, 10 to 12 are over 200 million HP. 10 11 is 290 and Aizen is 200 million, but more annoying mechanics. I mean, of course, Aizen is gonna have the most annoying mechanics. It seems like endless trial is 12 floors per trial selector still, and basically infinitely resets, and I'd imagine progressively gets harder to be determined, but I'd imagine it infinitely gets harder, but who's to say? We've got big damage over here, some big damage over here. I assume that's with Giku's free-to-play account. Endless Trial only allows you to use each character 3 times, so you need 4 teams. Oh, 4 teams. Let's go back in game. Oh, my capture broke. 1 second. There we are. So let's go back in game really quickly. So you need 4 teams now. That don't look very good for the gang here. So if I was to make 4 teams for the like quickie, let's see here. I would probably say This would say the same. Mayuri, Soi Fon, Grimjo. This would definitely switch to something like this. Or again, like this. This would obviously just be the Rangiku. And then blue, I mean, that's fine right here. But if you don't have this character, you could obviously use the Nemu. And shortly soon, you could use the SR Ulquiorra. Yeah, man, I mean, I've said it time and time again. This is not... It's not going to just be the case that you get to roll the game with one type of every character every time. Because, like... So here's the thing about, like, the 4 teams, right? Is, like, you could have 2 strike teams in theory. For certain teams, like team compositions, where we have a lot of characters, you could use multiple of the same typing. So, like... This is a strike floor, which means that if you run out of your strike, you could actually use Yoruichi for like the early floors with like a random like generic support. So generic supports plus Yoruichi, or maybe like Komomura plus Yoruichi, and then at the final one you use your Grimjo. You know what I mean? Like, that's where I was saying before that, like, you know, we're gonna get content eventually where you might want multiple of the same type of DPS, and they've been slowly introducing that. They introduced that with the world boss, and they seem to be introducing it again. So do not be surprised at all when we continue to get things that are like, hey, you could actually use multiple of the same type of character. But that seems to be the news for today. Is there anything else to talk about? I guess actually, while I'm here, while I'm here, we're getting a Kenpachi rerun, supposedly, with White Ichigo. I would say, if you already picked Bankai Ichigo with your selector, this guy down here, with your selector, I would just probably use Bankai Ichigo. I mean, there comes a point where you'll be able to be like, okay, Kenpachi's returning. I want to hit him up and get like 2 dupes, or I want to get like dupe 2, or I want to get dupe 1, or what have you. Of course there will be that time, but until you have a fleshed out account where you start actually considering skipping to just get boundaries, I wouldn't really just try to chase characters that you already have a character for. And unless Kenpachi would just be the most fun in the game for you. If he's the most fun in the game, you've seen Kenpachi, you're like, I want to play with Kenpachi so bad, then I would always say the smartest thing in gacha is to have fun. You know, it's a video game. It's ultimately a video game. Saving, planning, blah blah blah. That's cool. But if pulling on Grimjo until he's boundary 4, even though you're free to play, is how you have the most fun, then do that. Of course, do that. But for those of you who just want like my suggestion on keeping your account wide, for keeping your account free to play, very low spending, etc., and useful, I would just mostly prioritize trying to get, like, just grab Ichigo. I think. I mean, we now have the case where, why would Toshido ever be your selector choice? We literally we have Bankai Ichigo, who can sustain you with White Ichigo, more than likely. We've got Toshido, who now has SR plus Ulquiorra, and Ulquiorra coming to at least challenge or take his spot outright. It's not that Toshido is a bad character at all. It's not that Toshido can't be your main character. It's not anything to do with Toshido. It's just, if you are someone building an account, why wouldn't, and you want to be free to play, you have to understand certain concessions you need to make, right? Like, until boundary like 2-ish, Toshido isn't really going above and beyond as a character. Whereas there are some characters, some DPSs, especially a character like SSR plus SSR Grimjo right now, where literally boundary 1 Grimjo goes above and beyond. You don't need this one, right? So I don't know. That's me personally. I'm trying to talk you into spending the least amount of Jade possible. And for that, I mean, you literally can select a free SSR It's like the question I answered yesterday. I think it was yesterday. It might have been the day before. But the question I answered before was, should I pull for, if I have 25,000 Jade and, you know, Grimjo and Soi Fon are running out, should I pull for Soi Fon? And I said, listen, at this point, you'd be pulling for Grimjo, Soi Fon, White Ichigo, Ulquiorra, and maybe even whoever comes with Ulquiorra. You don't have enough Jade. Not for that much. I think the best idea would be to grab a Grimjo, a White Ichigo, and an Ulquiorra. And if you get lucky on any of them, you grab a dupe of one of them. Because these are obviously half anti big, you know, big time units, much like Nelel. And again, to just repeat myself over and over, Nelel has not returned. So if you're someone thinking, oh my god, Kenpachi's here, I would weigh it like this. Is Kenpachi one of your favorites in the series? He's hype. He is a hype character. Full stop, Kenpachi's hype. Kenpachi was the character I was most looking forward to on launch. And he was the reason I didn't reroll for Bankai Ichigo, because I knew that when Kenpachi came around, I'd end up pulling him anyway, so I didn't want to have a Bankai Ichigo who would be redundant. I thought he would come earlier than he did. He did not. He actually got delayed, so it was what it was. But Kenpachi is hype, so if he is your hype merchant, then you can pull. You know, obviously you can pull. You know, do what you want with your resources eventually. But understand that having an account where you need to pull for Soi Fon and Kenpachi, and probably Sazael when Ulquiorra comes out, you know, 4 weeks later, that's going to be a tough one to sort of buoy, even with half anti rewards being increased, even with us getting rewards all the time. I do expect an end of celebration payout where we get like 1,000 Jade or something like that, maybe just another 10 pull, what have you. I feel like the rewards have been very good so far. We did get lucky-ish on Grimjo. We got him pretty reasonably the first time, and then we did have to go to pity this for our dupe 2, or dupe 1 rather, so it's not like insane luck. I'd call it average, honestly. I mean, you get one early-ish, like kind of early-ish, and then for the next one you have to like go to pity. That's pretty standard gacha luck, if I'm honest. Yeah, I'll just say be careful. Just be careful. Pulling like the secondary characters, just be careful, because I would try to leave this celebration with one of each unit, even if you do not like one of the units. I've seen a lot of people be like, oh, I'm skipping Grimjo for Ulquiorra, and to that I would say, why are you skipping Grimjo? Why are you skipping any of the half-anti units? You know what I mean? But, you know, it's a gacha game. Ultimately, you got to play it your own way. So if your priority is, I want to have the strongest Grimjo ever, or as a free-to-play, or I want to have the strongest Aizen ever as a free-to-play, or I want to have the strongest Ulquiorra or White Ichigo ever as a free-to-play, then that's ultimately your choice. But regardless of what you do, that still tells me that you probably don't want to pull on these reruns, unless that's just like you're just a big fan. I would probably err on the side of B1 because it makes his rotations really smooth, but B2 as well as weapon dupes are really where Kenpachi weapon dupes really change this character's power. So do what thou wilt, do what you will. I've been lone though. I'll probably be back with a little tower demonstration sometime tomorrow. So yeah, we're on the filler arc, we're hanging out. I've been lone. Like if you like the video, subscribe to the club, we'll go make it, and peace.